Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, July 7th, 2025. Been a while since I'd given an update on citrus, so I thought I'd give one on my rental property here in Greene County that I don't really do any active protection, but I do try to passively protect where I can. So I thought I'd just give a little quick tour of some of the things that are going on. The first thing that we're looking at here is sugar bell. I've been real impressed with sugar bell, especially here with no protection to speak of. You can see it's planted close to a garage, but the garage is open and unheated, so it just basically acts as a wind block. But things have done very well. Last year the lowest temperature we had was about 18 or 19 maybe, but it was unusual in that we had a long cold January and it snowed somewhat anyway twice. So it was kind of an unusual winter that way, and I wondered how things that are a little more tender like sugar bell would do, but seem to have done just really fine. It's got a lot of new growth on it. It does have a few fruit. Very excited about this year. Got a couple of fruit on it, so excited about that. It's the first time it's fruited. We'll take a walk around. And this is a Sunset Chang from Woodlanders. This one is looks more like Morton citrange. This may be one that I gave them years and years ago, but I got it back. It's a seedling, so even though it's kind of tall, it hasn't yet fruited or flowered. Maybe next year, but it's doing great. And actually, that one went through 11 degrees in 2022. So it was just a tiny little plant, so very hardy. Very impressed with it. This is, it's called a Yuzu hybrid. I really don't know what it is. This also went through 22, and it had fruited before that. It had not fruited since then. It didn't fruit in 23 or 24, but this year it did. And it's got quite a number, good looking fruit so far. We'll see what they do. And very happy to see them fruit. It's probably got, I don't know, 3 or 4 dozen fruit up there scattered around. The tree itself is doing great. It is on its own roots. Like I said, the friend who gave it to me just had it labeled Yuzu hybrid. So I think it's probably a Yuzu hybrid with a mandarin. It probably was a chance cross that came up in his yard, but I don't really know. There we are. Very excited about that. And this is just put this in this year. This is a Troyer citrange by Rangpur line. And I grafted it myself with some budwood given to me by Derek Nance in North Carolina. So thank you, Derek. Shout out to you. And he had gotten it from California, from the CCCP budwood program. And I grafted it kind of high. You can see the graft union is right there. And so it's about 2.5, not quite 3 feet above the ground. We'll see how it does. I really don't know how cold hardy this will be, but I imagine it has at least some cold hardiness. It's a very interesting plant. It did bloom this spring, and the blooms are very interesting. They kind of have a purplish pink tinge to them, very lemony looking. The new growth is also a kind of bronzy reddish. Very interesting. As you can see, it didn't set any fruit, which is probably okay. It's still very small. Had it set any fruit, I probably would have let it keep a couple, but since it didn't, I'm not worried about it. But it's grown very well. It's a very vigorous plant. Now, how hardy again, I don't know. We'll have to see. I hope it turns out to be pretty hardy, because I really like that one. Over here is a seedling specimen I got several years ago of US 942. Got this from Herschel Boyd at Madison Citrus Nursery when kind of before the craze. I had read about it and wanted to get one, and of course at that time anyway, it was kind of being used mostly as a rootstock, and it still is being used as a rootstock, of course. But I was intrigued by some of the things I read and thought maybe it had some potential as an ornamental. This one has been here. I think I put it in 3 years ago, maybe 4. I'm not really sure. Because it was a seedling, it took some time. It did bloom this year, and it set a handful of fruit. But at least that's all I can see so far. But here they are, and you can see I've got 3 there. So we'll see how those turn out. I'm looking forward to seeing them. There's probably more fruit up there that I can't see right now that probably will turn up when the weather cools. But right now, that's all I can see. Morton citrange, oleander. And this is another interesting plant that I really like. This is Sinton citrangequat, very different from Thomasville. I'm trying to remember, I think this is a Nagami kumquat. I'm trying to remember. By Ruby Orange, maybe? Something, or another, I'm sorry, it's a citrange, but crossed with a kumquat. I'll have to look it up again, but what I like about Sinton is even from a very small plant, it has unifoliate leaves. It does not have trifoliate leaves at all. And for me anyway, this is a grafted plant, and for me, it has been setting lots of fruit. It's about 3 feet tall now, and it just seems to just bear crazy. And the fruit are very ornamental. They taste kind of like a lime kumquat flavor. But what I like about them especially is how ornamental they are. Pardon the background noise. Somebody's car alarm's going off. And benefit of living in the country, car alarms go off and nobody hears them. Okay, anyway, this is Sinton citrangequat. As you can see, it's got a ton of fruit and some nice new growth coming along here. I've fertilized citrus with granular fertilizer really for the last time. I won't fertilize them again with granular. I may put a little liquid fertilizer on them, but from this point forward, I really don't want a lot of new growth after this flush. One of the problems we have, I don't know if it's a problem, but it'll get dry, and then in late summer we will frequently get some tropical systems that will come through and kind of push out a late flush, which can be very tender when the weather cools. So try to inhibit that as much as I can, not always successfully. Coming around here, this is Thomasville citrangequat, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with Thomasville. Super reliable, super hardy, super fruitful. This is a seedling. I grew this one from the old plant in Savannah at the Coastal Georgia Botanical Gardens. And you know, it tends to bloom all summer long. As you can see here, the oldest fruit that's bloomed in April, and then you can see some more fruit here from a few months ago, and as soon as we get another rain, it will probably bloom again, and it just seems to never stop until it gets cold. Thomasville's a great fruit. My only complaint about it is it does ripen or color late, and one of the things I like to do with Thomasville is make marmalade out of it, so I like to have the orange fruit, and it doesn't really achieve full color until December, early December, and if we get an early freeze, it can ruin the fruit. But when that doesn't happen, I don't know, maybe it happens once every 5 years or so. Typically our hardest freezes will come after Christmas, so by that point you can usually harvest the fruit. It's a small complaint. You can start using these in about a month as limes. They're juicy early on, and great use in that way. But I do like to have the fully colored fruit as well. All right, heading over here. It's hidden now, but this is the Carolina lime. Probably in too much sun. If I could plant it now, I would put it in more shade, because it does tend to have that curling effect. Carolina lime is also very vigorous in terms of fruitfulness. It's not a especially vigorous plant, kind of slow growing. This one's grafted, got it from Stan McKenzie, so thank you, Stan. And it's got a little scab on it. I'm not sure what was going on there, but give it a little attention. But Carolina lime, when it ripens, is a great little fruit. Probably the cold hardiest lime I can grow, certainly. And we'll round it out with 3 more. First one is Sunquat, really one of my favorites. This is a Texas hybrid. One of the speculations is a Meyer Lemon by Kumquat, or possibly a Clementine by Kumquat. To me, if it's anything, it's probably a Meyer Lemon, but because it just looks like it. But it is kumquat shaped, larger than a kumquat. Peel is sweet. You can eat the whole thing when it's fully ripe. And this one's been in the ground a couple years, and second year it's fruited, so seems to be doing well. This is Keraji mandarin. Keraji is, as you can see, crazy vigorous here. It never seems to miss a crop. Certainly not the case this year. This one's been in the ground since 2018, and kind of hard to see the fruit right now, but it's just loaded. It's everywhere. And these will start being edible in middle of October, and if you can keep the freezes off of them, you can continue to eat them until February. It's just wonderful. And then rounding out our little tour is Kishu mandarin. Kishu's not especially hardy. This one's been in the ground since 2018. So I'm very proud to say that. When it got down to 11 degrees in 22, I threw some bales of pine straw on it, around it, and I thought, well, we'll see how it does. And it was killed back to about a foot of the graft union. So I was really surprised it survived at all. It did bounce back, as you can see. It didn't fruit any in 23, but it did make some fruit last year in 24, and this year we're going to have a lot of fruit. And this is one that everybody loves when they taste it, because it's a nice little peel and eat mandarin, completely seedless. I've eaten thousands of these and never found a seed. So it's a great little citrus. And that's not everything, but it's something. I don't want to take too long. And if you haven't, please comment. Let me know what you're growing. And let me know if I missed anything or need to add some more information. So happy growing to you. And thanks again for tuning in.